Welcome everybody. Today we're here to talk about a very difficult subject that people don't always acknowledge, and it's the difficult topic called sex trafficking. Because, by the way, it doesn't happen in our community, does it? We're here today and we're honored to have Jim Glasgow, the Will County State's Attorney, who's going to talk about the reality of that project and also what the Will County Child Advocacy Center does about the program. So welcome, Jim, and thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Gwen.
You know, we hear about it on TV, but is it a real problem in our own backyard?
Yes, sex trafficking is real, and we're very fortunate in Will County because we have a more dispersed population. It's more difficult for a sex trafficker to get away with it very long,
Okay.
because there are too many eyes and ears out there. You know, it's when you have the density of population and the high rises where people disappear,
Yeah.
and the massive hotels, whatever. That's where it really can get a foothold. You know, again, we're on the border of Cook County,
Right.
and so there's not to besmirch Cook County,
Sure.
but they obviously have a significant problem, and you know, we have a reputation in Will County of being very effective in law enforcement. So a lot of the people don't come here, and
Right.
but we are aware that we have had cases. We've had a couple of murders that we're trying to solve right now, and the young people that were killed were basically being used as chattel by pimps.
Okay.
And it's disgusting. And,
It is.
and these were young people from good homes
Right.
that you would never expect to happen. But once they go off the rails a little bit, and the people that are abusing them ply them with drugs, especially heroin, because when you're addicted to heroin,
It's just
you're a yo-yo, because your rational thought processes have come undone, and
Right.
all you want is your next fix, and you'll do anything for it.
right. Whatever it takes.
And you don't care if you live or die.
Oh,
So for a pimp, that's the ultimate.
Right.
And that's what's going on right now. There's a young lady named Cassandra Ma, who is a pioneer in battling sex trafficking, and she's got like a halfway house that she runs, where she tries to get these poor children rehabilitated. And some of the backgrounds that they come from, they've been mistreated their entire lives.
Right.
And it takes incredible intervention to get through to them, to bring them back to humanity.
Right.
I mean, it is, you know, we take for granted the good things that we have in
Sure.
our lives. And I was adopted, but I was adopted by wonderful parents.
Right.
And ironically, because they adopted me, they cared for me more
Sure.
than sometimes people who have, you know,
Absolutely.
children independently. But it's something we just have to be aware of. And if you see it, you need to report it, because once law enforcement is involved, we've got amazing detectives and technology that allows us to do things we couldn't do before.
Absolutely. I mean, technology has just evolved so significantly. But you know, still the perception is it's that side of the track, or it's those people, and that's not true.
No.
It's not a respecter of persons. And so as a result of it, would you say to everyone listening here today that this is equal across the board? It's not, doesn't discriminate on the basis of socioeconomic status. It doesn't discriminate on the basis of race or anything else. It happens in all communities of sizes and shapes, correct?
And sadly, the internet is one of the facilitators.
Sure.
You know, when I was a child, I had access to nothing.
Right. You played in your backyard,
if
right?
I wanted to get in trouble, I couldn't. Right.
Exactly.
Well, now you can, right in your hand, you have access to the entire world, and they have access to you.
Sure.
And there are predators out there that ply children in the best of homes, and suddenly they disappear.
Right.
And
Now, tell me about that correlation then between child pornography and sex trafficking.
Well, obviously, child pornography is. I started a unit in 2012 as an offshoot of the Attorney General's ICAC,
Okay.
and we've made over 150 arrests since 2012, and that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And these are individuals who are, you know, either manufacturing, trading, or receiving, you know, child pornography. I've only seen one image of child pornography in my entire career, and it made me so sick. I've never seen another one.
Right.
The people who work for me who do that and are able to see it and not have it torment them,
Sure.
is truly amazing.
Right. It takes a special person to be able to work in this field.
It truly does. It is.
It's a calling almost.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And you know, the people that I have working for me, Dan Simonson and Megan Brooks, have done a phenomenal job. And then we have Cash, the Wonder Dog, the
Sure,
electronics
right.
detection dog. So we've assisted other counties. One just recently in Kankakee, where the offender had created a stash under his stairs in the basement, And they searched the house and didn't find it. We brought cash in, he found it.
Unbelievable. And if anybody's not read about the Wonder Dog, they should take the time to do
Yes.
that, because it's incredible to see that information out there. So tell us what the center does to really work towards, helping people who have been involved.
Well, that's where, with this latest grant that we've gotten, we have the family counseling and the trauma counseling. And the trauma counseling is at another level. These are children that are really on the edge.
Sure.
And we have some brilliant young ladies that have this as a calling, and they're not 9 to 5 in the least.
They have to be on call for that.
This is their life to save these children. And we had a situation recently where the children had to go live outside the county, so we transferred it to another agency that wasn't working out so well, and our therapist went up there and spent the day.
Sure, they had to stay on that same connection level, right?
And the guardian said it was a miracle what happened that day.
Right.
They went from the edge back to some normalcy, and
that's fantastic. But it takes a special person, and it takes a special calling, like you said.
Right.
Because if you're going to work in this field, what a tragedy that we're dealing with this in today's society, and at the magnitude that it's in. So what would you say to the community at large? How do they open their eyes? How do they report it? What are they looking for?
Well, obviously any aberrant behavior, drugs many times can be at the heart of it. This heroin epidemic, just 12 years ago we had single-digit fatal overdoses. We're at 100 a year now. And that's while we're battling it, full force.
Right.
We've quintupled the number of drug dealers going to prison, but the heroin highway in Chicago never closes. Right. And that's the real tragedy. So anybody in Northern Illinois, no matter what their local officials do,
right.
they still have
the problem. Yep.
And if you or I used heroin one time,
we'd be addicted, right?
There's a great chance we would be addicted. And if you use it more than once, you are addicted.
Unbelievable.
And so I always say that because we think, oh, well, we're above that. We could never fall prey to that.
Oh, and isn't there a pill to fix it?
No.
Right.
Well, again,
that's what they.
There are some things that have been developed.
Sure, they can be done. That can be done, right?
Suboxone is one of them, and then Narcan and naloxone is the drug that gets you to the hospital. It starts your breathing again. But again, that can't be relied upon.
Right, that can't be the operating first premise. Absolutely.
Yeah, we were always worried that if we made naloxone 2 available, the addict would have the naloxone in one hand and the heroin in the other, and say, I'll administer
get this first, and
But it hits you so quickly, the nerve endings that control your breathing just cease to work, and you go out.
Right.
And it's not a painful death, but it's a certain death.
It's certain death. Different level. Well, that's great that the center is working towards it. You've got this grant. Tell us what we can do as a community to help fighting the issue.
Well, be vigilant in your home,
right,
and learn about all of the warning factors, and then seek help. Seek help immediately.
Right.
You can call the Child Ad Center. If we can't help you directly, we'll help you indirectly. We'll get you in touch with somebody, a professional like yourself, who's uniting the community and trying to bring resources to bear.
Absolutely.
That they're no good if they're just sitting there. People
That's right.
don't know about them.
Right.
I'm trying to start the League of Extraordinary Canines in Will County,
right,
where I'm going to unify all the agencies that work with animals, so they can all communicate in real time with each other and stop tragedies from happening.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, we appreciate everything that you're doing in the community, and we appreciate the time that you're taking here to help educate us on this particular issue. So thank you again for coming.
Thanks for asking.
We appreciate it. And I'm going to do that call to the community. So if you're listening today and you've heard us have this discussion, keep in mind that the Will County Child Advocacy Center is a 501c3, and your donations can come in many formats. But one of the things that we all have to keep in mind is we owe a duty to the community in many manners. One is to be an advocate and to stop what's going on and to report what's happening. But 2, in addition to that, reach into your pockets, support the Advocacy Center, because we think that every one of us helping is the only way, don't you agree,
Absolutely,
that we're going to get services to people and be able to make a change in our community. And isn't, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, right?
Right, absolutely.
So we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Gwen.